So I get on my PC and I'm just gonna go edit some videos for content, and then I check Twitter because that's kind of what you just do. I'm checking my notice and all that shit, and then I see a corporate tweet and it's this, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's from Nintendo JP, and I'm like, Splatoon JP, and I'm like, what the fuck? You already announced the patches and all that other shit going on. Like, we already got everything. Like, what could you possibly be talking about here? And so I'm looking here and it says, we want to provide some additional information regarding the guidelines of the use of Nintendo's copyrighted works at game tournaments announced by Nintendo. And so it's like, okay, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Small scale tournaments held by individuals can be held without applying individually, only if operated according to guidelines. Please read the text carefully for details. Read that to you guys again. Small-scale tournaments held by individuals can be held without applying individually, only if operated according to guidelines. Please read the text carefully for details. A small tournament is a tournament when a number of participants is less than 200 if offline, meaning an in-person event, or less than 300 if online. So for online tournaments, your small scale, it will be considered a small scale tournament if your tournament has less than 75 teams, basically. So some arbitrary number like that, but some shit like that, basically. And so we continue on here to see, if you'd like to hold a large scale tournament with the cooperation of volunteers recruited on SNS, please read Q14 of the Q&A attached to the guidelines. And then we go here, the last one says, information on applying for permission is also introduced in the topics below. That's all for supplements. So what was all this about? What does all this mean? Well, thanks to the lovely community that we have, I'm able to see what they meant. Thanks to our lovely community, I'm able to get information about what all this means, and we have Jared here, and he says, just from using Google Translate, I feel awful for the JP Splat community and hope none of this applies to NA. This is actually horrible. No sponsors, no tournament prizing. I mean, you can't give out money if you do not apply for Nintendo's permission in the JPC. This is for the JPC. If you don't apply for Nintendo's permission, then you cannot apply. I mean, you cannot hand out, or you can't even host tournaments basically without the use of their permission, because it's copyrighted, meaning like you're using Splatoon, which is Nintendo's property, and so if you don't apply for permission to run a tournament, then you can't run it. Basically, is what it's saying. If it's like a small scale tournament, they're basically saying no sponsorships and none of that stuff if you do not apply and get accepted by those guidelines or whatever. Hopefully I'm saying the right information, y'all. I'm really sorry if I'm not. But this stuff only applies to Japan for now. We got Shrimp Fox here, and he translated it for us. And then we're gonna read this bottom part. When holding a community tournament, it is not possible to receive goods, services, money, etc. from third parties such as sponsors. Meaning it's just not allowed to hand out any money, period. If you don't get accepted by those guidelines, or like if you don't apply. You have to apply. You have to apply. And as of right now, this is only for the JP scene. And this is bad. This is very bad. So for those that, I'm sure we all know, but for those that don't know, that we have a Nintendo North America, as you can see here. And so 90% of the time, when Splatoon JP says something, right? When they say something, the Splatoon North America accounts follow. It does it later in the day. It's like 4 a.m. right now. So 7-8 hours from now, we could be getting hit with the same thing. There is a slight chance. I don't know if Splatoon North America, aka Nintendo, is going to implement it here in the West, or like if it applies to North America, then it will apply to Nintendo Europe, etc., etc. UK, it's going to apply to all boards if it gets hit everywhere else, anywhere else here, basically. But right now, JP is first, because JP is always the first one to get new shit. If this comes here, they're basically killing competitive Splatoon. Like, these guidelines are not just for offline events. This is for online events too. They are literally killing our competitive scene if this were to apply. As far as Japan goes and whatnot, I read somewhere that prizing like that has always been taboo. So maybe they'll be okay, but this is awful. I think I'm just wrong though, but this is awful. Seeing Splatoon JP get hit with this, and we could be next. And if this goes through, this could generally kill off Comp Splatoon. A lot of our tournaments, like, and org runners are not exactly. We have some of them aren't exactly sponsored. We have people. We like Ig Performance Labs, as we know, IPO, great tournament organization. They would have to get permission by Nintendo to run all of their tournaments. Swimmer Sync, Proving Grounds, SAC, Low Inc. They would need to get permission for all of those. Reef Resident, they would have to get permission from all of those. We got Dapper Productions here in the West, pulling it up right now. We got Dapper Productions, organization I commentate for. All of theirs too. Trident Cup, Paddling Pool, the longest running Splatoon series right now, Paddling Pool, Squid Junction, their major 20XX. All of that, right? They would have to get permission to run that if this applies over here in the West, and that's not really good. They're hindering us from using their game to run tournaments. That's basically what they're doing. They're making us have these guidelines and get accepted and all that stuff. If you were to run, I think I don't know what the punishment would be, but all of your stuff could be voided if you run a tournament without those guidelines per se. Without those guidelines, without permission. Hopefully I'm saying the right stuff here, y'all. I don't know if I am. I could be completely wrong right now, and I think I'm wording it terribly. But basically, all in all, no sponsors, no money, none of that. You have to apply in order to run a Splatoon tournament. They're killing off our competitive scene. That's what they're doing. Again, this is only for JP right now. But 9 times out of 10, Splatoon North America is going to follow suit, along with all the other Splatoon and Nintendo accounts. We could be in deep, I don't know what we're going to do. We could be in deep trouble. Maybe we're being overdramatic. This just got announced. Maybe we're not seeing enough. Maybe we're not hearing enough information. But from what it seems like from just what we're looking at, this is not good. Nintendo was trying to kill off Comp Splatoon more than they already tried before. This is terrible. I'll probably make a community post when I get more information, so I'll inform you guys what happens here on the Splatoon North America account. Until then, I'll see y'all next time. I'm gonna go scratch my head and think about what the fuck is going on, because I don't know why they're doing this.